Hey folks, why haven't you subscribed yet? Tell them, Lily. Hey folks, how you doing? Um, I know it's been a little while, probably a couple weeks since my last video. The reason being is I've not been feeling the best. Hopefully I'm going to get back into the swing of things, but it's going to be one video per week per channel. So the two channels that I run, one video will be on this channel covering science, the other video will be on my other channel covering magic and that kind of thing. Although I will release one Friday, or not Friday, Saturday, tomorrow. I will release a video tomorrow on my gaming channel as well. Today's video, I want to talk about something that I just recently come across, even though this is a year old, at least. It was in June of 2020. But I just recently come across this article. I'd come across it in a National Geographic that had popped up on my Facebook. Once I got digging into it, it got a little, I realized it was a little older. So, what I want to talk about is, as you can tell by the title and the screen, or the thumbnail, it is an oceanic whitetip, a shark. An oceanic whitetip's a shark. Now these are open water sharks, so they're not like reef sharks or anything like that. So these are open water shark. They travel hundreds of miles, and these sharks feed predominantly on fish and other things in the open water. What you got to realize about the open water in the pelagic zone of the open ocean is that is technically what a lot of people consider a desert, because even though this water and the desert itself is not, we don't think of that, it's more of a food desert. This vast ocean, say in the Pacific or in the Atlantic, out at the very middle, this vast stretch of water does not hold a lot of life. The reason being several. One, there's no cover for smaller animals, and it's just it's too open. The one place is in the open ocean that these there are a lot of life is in seaweed, floating rafts of seaweed. Sargasso seaweed is one of them. It's particularly in the Atlantic. Anyway, so these oceanic whitetips, they get roughly around 7 foot long, and they are believed to be the culprit of a very famous incident that took place involving a shark attack, basically. And that is the USS Indianapolis. I'll most likely do another video in regards to that, but basically what had happened, the USS Indianapolis was a ship that had delivered the atomic bombs to the base for them to be dropped on Japan during World War II. On the return trip back in the middle of the Indian Ocean, they were hit by torpedoes and sunk. I don't have the statistics. The sinking itself it killed quite a bit, but it didn't kill the majority. However, a large number of those people that went into the water out in the middle of the Indian Ocean. A lot of them were wounded, burnt, bleeding. It attracted, from what the eyewitness reports, it attracted sharks. Most likely these were oceanic white tips, and unfortunately a lot of the sailors, a big number of the sailors, perished in shark attacks. We don't know for sure how many, but there were a lot. Anyway, so these are oceanic white tips. They're not really big sharks in regards to things like great whites or tiger sharks, which can get in excess up to 20 feet. Tiger sharks have been estimated to 20 feet. You know, Greenland sharks are massive, great deep water sharks that get the size of great whites. They're not these. They're smaller. But anyway, this shark had a particular set of scars. As you can see here, it's going to be a couple of pictures. The first one's a regular picture, and the other one's a modified close-up. Anyway, if you can look along the picture, you will see scars on this shark in the form of circles. And they're in a pattern. Now, this is an amazing, potentially an amazing find. The photographer, the underwater photographer who took this picture was a Devin Verbeek. I'll write his name here. Anyway, he took this picture. It was published last year in a scientific paper. There is a pretty good chance. Now, this shark was filmed off the coast of Hawaii. And there's a pretty good chance that this was from an Architeuthis, a giant squid. These are extremely rare creatures, at least in the sense that they are seen here. It's seen by humans. There's only a handful of videos and photos, in the neighborhood of 5 or 6, of these things. To my knowledge, I'm not for sure. There's not that many. Up until probably 10 to 15 years ago, there was no pictures at all of these things. We knew they existed because they washed up on shore. We knew that they... so these things would wash up on shore, and it's just, it's amazing. These are huge. And I've seen one carcass at the Smithsonian. It is in this underwater. I'm sorry about the computer. It's in the underwater exhibit in the Smithsonian. If you ever get a chance to go to DC and visit the Smithsonian, any of the museums, but in particular the Museum of Natural History, I highly recommend going. But these were huge squid. And some estimates up to 60 feet long, counting the tentacles. There's two that we know of, two species of large squid, the giant squid and the colossal squid. The giant squid has suction cups with a ring of teeth on the rim of the sucker, and that's what leaves these scars, is the teeth, the ring of teeth. And it's on the tentacles. The colossal squid does not have the suckers like that on the end. They have hooks, and they're really gnarly, as you can see here. So anyway, if this is what very well could have been a predation attempt from a giant squid on a shark, that is amazing. There are a couple other possibilities. Most likely, with the shape of the tentacles, it was a squid. most likely it was a giant squid. However, I'm not saying that it's not. The scientists wrote a paper, and that's what they believe. Most likely it is. The one thing that I could say is that there's a squid in that has been coming up from Central and South America up into the waters of California, called the Humboldt squid, which is roughly 6 feet long. Vicious, extremely vicious squid. If the shark was young, attacked by the squid, a Humboldt squid, let's say, or any, at that point, as a shark ages, sometimes the scars will grow. That is the only thing that I have to say that it could be, other than the giant squid. But most likely I would say it's the giant squid. There's a pretty good chance. I just think it's amazing. I hope you all have a great day. I know this isn't the best, but I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I'll see you next time.